got a couple of new prospects here. These are some genets that were captured out in Arizona about 7.5 months ago. That's Lacy the blonde donkey, and then this is Sis over here. Sis is pregnant, and so that throws a little bit of a loop into gentling, because she's a little hormonal right now, so we're going to have to deal with that. Lacy is much more trusting than Sis is, so we've got some issues there we're working with. But these girls are coming along great. Nikki Creasy, she's a tip trainer with Burrow Base Camp. Had these donkeys initially, and she actually held on to them for a little longer for me because I had knee surgery and couldn't really work with them. So she did me that favor and really did good work with them. These are good girls. But with Sis, I need to get her a little more gentle, because if she has a foal, I need to get to the foal. I don't want her to kill me in the process. So we're going to do some work with her. She's pretty standoffish still. I can actually touch Lacy while she's eating, so she's a little better. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get them separated. I've got a 10 by 20 setup right here with a corral panel in the middle, so I can make a 10 by 10. And then I've got another panel that I can swing over and kind of put them up against the side. Not really pinch them in there, but keep them there so that I'm safe. So if I get kicked or whatever, or kicked out, that they can't hurt me. And so that's kind of why I'm doing it. So we're going to talk a little bit about goals today and what I'm trying to accomplish with these girls right now, where they're at. And so let's get started. Body over there. Now when you got a real wild donkey, if they're really skittish, I'll do this as well, except when they're really skittish, if they're shaking, okay, I don't touch them. I just want to stand here beside them until they relax. Once they relax, I open the gate and let them back out again. I just let them know they're going to be okay. Because when they're really wild and brand new, they don't. It's like I mean, it's unwanted touch. They don't want you touching them, and so I mean they're terrified, and so it's not a good time to try to touch them. But you want to get them used to your presence, so you want to be close to them, and they may kick out as well when they're like that. But once they calm down, that's when you pull them out. With her, she's through that stage. She's not shaking. However, she is hiding her head. So, and there's two reasons a donkey drops their head. So, once she's trained and she drops her head, it's a sign of submissiveness. So she's letting me know, you know, like when I go out to the pasture, my donkeys will come up and they want me to scratch them, and they'll drop their head, and it's a submissive sign. When she's doing it right now, she's kind of hiding from me. She's protecting her head, keeping it down away so I can't get to it. So it's a little different thing she's doing right now. She doesn't do it as much as Sis does. We'll get Sis in here in a few minutes, okay? So, but with this donkey here, my goal is to get to where she sees me with this brush and knows she's going to get brushed and wants to come over to me and present her neck or her body to me. And I want her to be able to do that in the open without having to put her in there like this. I want her to submit to me that way. And so we'll come over here. She's going to learn this is a nice relaxing time. This is her little spa time, so she can get brushed and it feels good, you know. And I'm moving slow. I'm not going to do anything quick. I'm not going to raise my hands over my head. I'm not going to do anything to scare her. I even want to be careful not to drop this brush right now. I don't want to do anything to make it an unpleasant experience for her. A lot of times when a donkey's nervous, they'll lick their lips and they'll swallow. And sometimes they'll even look back at you to let you know they're nervous. They're communicating with you, and I think that's pretty phenomenal. The donkey will do that. But she'll lick her lips and look back at me. Right now her mouth's kind of drawn up, so she's not really comfortable right now. The other thing you look at when a donkey's, if they're relaxed, is their neck muscles. When they're tense, those neck muscles are all tensed up and hard as a rock. They'll also sort of ball up and make themselves kind of smaller. They'll tuck their tail, okay? So you're looking for all those things. You want a nice loose tail back here. I'd like to see her head kind of drop a little bit. But she's not too nervous. She's not licking her lips. She's not shaking. She has dropped her head a few times. And her mouth, like I said, you can see her mouth's kind of drawn up, kind of tight. So she's not totally comfortable with me doing this. But she's tolerating me. She's giving me a good try. That's all I could ask for right now. And a lot of times what a donkey will do is they'll go off the wildest donkey in the group. They'll follow that donkey because they figure if they're worried, they need to be worried too. So if you can get these donkeys separated and work with them, you'll make a lot more progress. If I just try to chase these girls around in that corral, I'm never going to catch them. I'm just going to run them around. It's just going to be a useless endeavor. So bringing them in here away from each other is a really good way to work with them. You know, and I'm in no hurry. I have no timeline. I'm really on these donkeys' timelines. Some donkeys will get through this in a couple weeks and you'll be doing stuff with a halter. Some donkeys, it may take 6 months. I mean, there is no written rule for how long it takes to gentle a donkey. All right, this is Sis, and this was the second time I've put her in here, and she moved in really nice today. Didn't fight me too much at all. As you can see her, she's already going to drop her head. She doesn't want me to touch her head. And so I'm going to stay away from that for now. We're just going to brush her right now and get her used to me touching her. See her tense up there when I touched her, and that's a little different than what Lacy did. She didn't jump like that. We're just going to brush and get her used to touching. So if I can get her to where she sees this as a nice situation here where she's going to get brushed and it's not too stressful, maybe even put some feed down there for her. If I do have any complications with her foal, I can bring her in here and we can work in here and I can work in safety. Well, the difference between her and Lacy is that when Lacy was in here, she dropped her head and she was kind of eating some grass. Sis is not doing that. She's dropping her head and looking to see if she can get out from under these corral panels. She's thinking about an escape. She doesn't really want to get too far. She doesn't really want me around her. So she's much more nervous than Lacy is. So we just got some work to do with her. You know, a lot of times donkeys will kick out and not to try to kick me, but to let me know they're nervous, and they'll just kick straight back. Now, if a donkey kicks out what we call cow kicking, when they come around like this, that's a different deal. They're trying to kick you. If she did that, I'd probably yell at her right now. I wouldn't hit her. I'd probably yell at her, let her know I didn't like that. And a lot of times that voice, when I yell, and she knows I'm upset, it'll have a strong effect on them. So I talked a little earlier about setting goals, and I think that's important. And as I talked about earlier, I've really got two different goals for these two girls right now. I want to get to where I can catch Lacy and touch her in the open. I know that's not going to happen with Sis for a while. So my goal with her is to get her relaxed in this area right here and to go in this position easy so I don't have to really force her in. That way if I need to mess with her foal, I can. I just want her to get used to my touch right now. And so I'm not going to try to catch her in the open. And so that's going to be a ways down the road. So this is all my goal is right now. So my goal is a little different with Lacy. She's a little farther along, so we may do some different things with her in a couple weeks. This is all I'm going to do right here with this girl for at least a couple weeks. Just see where she gets. She's relaxing now. She's not hiding her head. She's not moving back and forth. This is good. So now that she's done that, now's the time I want to let her loose. Alright, so to recap here, my goal with these two girls is pretty simple. Just get them used to my touch and build trust. Trust in them and them trust in me. That's our goal right now. And once I feel like we've accomplished some of those goals, we'll move on to the next level. How long does it take? I can't tell you. It could be 2 weeks or 6 months. It's all up to the donkey. So that's my goal for the next few months is working with these girls and getting them gentled. So here we go again. A couple new donkeys. Thanks for watching.